Welcome back to the lounge. You may be wondering what happened to episode 4. Unfortunately, a snowflake or the gods of YouTube didn't like what was on the former video, so it was removed. But fear not, we at the lounge expect this to happen sooner or later, so we're going to retell the story, but remove the fight scene, since that scene involved minors. I know that sucks, but we are living in sensitive times. Plus, this will give me an excuse to add more to the story about the transit community. I did say I was going to tell a story about the dangers of subway surfing and the infamous foamer, so to make up for the loss, 3 topics will roll into one. Now that's a bargain. Now without further ado, let's get started. Today's topic, we're going to talk about the transit community. What is the transit community, you asked? We're a community of kids, photographers, and transit workers who share their love of buses and trains. For the normal people, this may seem weird, seeing folks with cameras, just taking pictures of a bus or train. But for us, it's an hobby and documentation. For these models of buses and trains, they won't last long. After a decade or two, these old equipments gets replaced with newer and better ones. Some worship trains, some kiss trains. But no matter what we're into, even though you shouldn't be kissing a 50-plus-year-old subway car, this is what we do. In New York City, we're pretty big in the transit community. The MTA, or Metropolitan Transit Authority for you normals, is the agency in New York. And in New York City, it's New York City Transit or bus, if it's buses. Of course, New York City has a lot of interesting landmarks above and below ground. And believe me, there's a lot of strange activities in the subway system, from panhandling to brutal attacks. Let's start off with the recent incident. On March 10th, 2023, the R211, MTA's newest subway car, after years of testing and delays, thanks to COVID, finally entered revenue testing. It was normal like any other. People taking photos, the usual activities. However, at 181st Street, a fight took place. 3 teens attacked a lone teen, causing the R211 to be delayed. The story goes that the victim been making disrespectful comments about a deceased teen who was killed while subway surfing. We'll get to that topic in a minute. So the 3 teens finally found the person and attacked him. It made headlines, and it also brought the attention of the activists. For some will say it was a hate crime. It's a stretch, and I got a feeling it was one of them who had my video down. They're not very bright. If it was one of them, I'll say this like I said in my previous video. Reality is reality. No amount of strikes or whining will change that. I'll just make another video, and the lounge is going to be moved to a new location after episode 10 anyway. So it's a waste of time. And plus, the whole community already saw the footage. The video went viral, and from an article, one of them was arrested. Some say that the victim was autistic. We'll get to the autism card later on in this video. Let's move on to the next topic.
Somebody just died today, a 50-year-old kid. Alright, this gotta stop. Enough's enough. We gotta understand, we all have the transit community, the way you guys are all together, your friends and your families and friends and everything, and you guys know other ones that do it, tell them to stop.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm getting pissed off already. And this is uncalled for. You understand your lives are more valuable. You guys are our future. And you're taking it to another level, and your friends are taking it to another level. As Luis Lopez, as a man of my word, of other things that I'm trying to do for myself too. Alright? Everybody. Tell your friends, the other friends on Instagram, social media, whatever. Tell them to stop surfing. It's not cool, it's not fun. All you're doing is hurting your families and other friends, that's it. Now it's 15-year-old kid, guess what? Now the mother or father gotta bury him. All because you want to be cool out there, you want to hang out with everybody on top of a train. So do me a favor, spread the word. Stop surfing the trains. Stop.
What you just saw is a message to the transit community from a bus operator. The message was about subway surfing. For those who play subway surfers, you know what it's about. But in real life, it's very dangerous and no surfboards. This year, 2 teens were killed doing this act. Fresh air is one thing, gravity is another. The other day, another teen was killed in Staten Island by subway surfing. A video was surfaced. It's really graphic. I can't show you guys about it. Already got in trouble as it is, but I'll give you all an idea on what happened. When you get a message, don't try this at home. You might want to take that warning very seriously. This is a dangerous activity, and it should stop. Let's move on to the final segment. Originally, this segment was going to be episode 9, but with episode 4 removed, we'll cram this episode in, and I'll give you guys an update in a future video, as more research is needed. This is Carlos SMTA, better known as Carlos Santiago, an infamous foamer who has a really bad habit starting trouble, from going inside the train cab, harassing and threatening transit workers and those from the community, including me. Recently, he has harassed a female transit buff, but fear not, he ain't about that life. When confronted, this happens.
That it? I don't know if that's it. Or maybe it is.
Before I created Storyteller's Lounge, there was another series I was going to create that was similar to my current series. Carlos was going to be episode 3, but a few of my friends from my community advised me that it's a bad idea. And at the time, I agree. But a recent Facebook post from a friend has my attention. I had to check it out. I remember his disrespect from a close friend of mine. If anyone's going to troll the transit prodigy, it'll be me. And the time I was hospitalized. How brave of him for threatening to punching a woman in the face. Should have used that same energy on the people that jumped him on 42nd Street. 2 years ago, someone finally had enough of Carlos and gave him the gift that keeps on giving, aka these hands. And whoever did that, drinks is on me. Now you can pause this video and read the caption. It's from Carlos's mother. Don't bother looking for it on Instagram. She set it to private and may have deleted it, possibly from the backlash. She claims that her son was jumped because he has autism. Remember I told you about the autism card? Well, between him and the victim, they're on the spectrum. In the transit community, there are some people with that spectrum. Some are called foamers because of that. Not all are diagnosed with autism. Some are just way too excited. Nothing wrong with being diagnosed with autism. It's the card parents used whenever they're confronted, and so 2 mothers played that card. Reading that caption makes me want to cuss out the mother with full force. Lady, your son has a problem of writing a check that bounces, and when the check keeps bouncing, you'll get a negative balance until you correct your mistakes. Your son has a habit of messing with people, threatening transit workers, and messing with MTA property. Your son's constant bullying cost him a trip to the emergency room. Your son wasn't kidnapped. Someone had enough of him and took action. Having autism doesn't give a person a pass to be a jackass. I got a few friends in that spectrum, and I don't recall them harassing people. So instead of being a child's best friend, you need to be a mother and should have taught him that actions have consequences. The same goes for another mother whose son was attacked at 181st Street. Both of you need to grow up and learn to take responsibility for poor parenting or get a hysterectomy. The next person does not care if he is autistic. The autism card will not work. And this concludes the story about the transit community. Unlike the Kanika Jenkins community, there's not much going on. If something pops up, I'll be sure to tell a story. In our next episode, we'll wrap up the Olvera obsession too. Of course, you guys know that saga isn't over yet. There are still those who doesn't like the fact that Chloe isn't a goofy. They either want her to shut up, or...
I am Magneto, master of Magnet. Come, ex-chicken.
I'm fucking magnetic.
Until then, this is Storyteller signing off. Until next time.
Shadow Storyteller. If you like what you saw, you can hit the subscribe and bell notification buttons to enjoy more content. Until next time.